Islam is a religion of peace and got nothing to do whatsoever with terror. Islam is a religion of peace and got absolutely nothing to do with terror. Islam is a religion of peace and got nothing absolutely with terror. Islam is a religion of peace and got absolutely nothing to do with terror. There is a lot of group that are creating terror on this planet. Unfortunately, I'm speaking about the unfortunate terror cases that's happening among the Muslim nation. So there is terror from different groups, terror, and there is always reaction. This person in New Zealand, for example, let's take him as an example. He commits something. The ladies in the park in France attacking. This is what I can remember in Canada and other places. Let's focus on the one in New Zealand. He is a reaction of something. What is the action? False information about Islam, false treatment and discussion about immigration, false understanding to why the West is controlling New Zealand and Australia, and false information about the Holy Land that creating the reactions that made him react and killing 50% in the masjid, the house of worship in Allah, regardless here in Ethiopia or not, in New Zealand. Now, this terrorist attack is a reaction to something. An anger, it's always an anger from inside that is making people committing such thing. So it's a reaction. Dark embossment, Russia can recreate a reaction. Unacceptable attack toward any human being will always create a reaction. What is creating terrorists among the Muslim nation is many groups. The biggest, unfortunately, is the West. It is absolutely unacceptable to accept the loss of any human being life. Okay? There is an attack that happened in France. I heard the news. And a woman ran away. Then she died from the attack. And then Macron said, and I'm sad for the loss of this lady and other gentlemen. I think, I'm not sure. I don't want to see the news again. I'm sure that they were walking peacefully and there is an attack. They understand what's happening there. Macron, he represents a group, okay, and this group is everywhere, especially in the West, going to Holy Land and going to empowering the so-called Shia. Who is the real terrorist who caused this to happen? Who is the one who is making us sad right now as a human being? Why I'm sad right now for a woman that lost her life and two men is not only this terrorist, this person who attacked them. No. It's those who created by an action this sort of reactions. I have a personal case. It's not about the West. Yes, I ran away. I don't want to start this again. Why I'm in England. But the only thing that I can offer is I want destruction. And I am cursing those who created the problem from the first place. Like Trump right now is increasing the ban of us. When it's come to my personal case, when it's come to the Ishmaelians, when it's come to the Holy Land, those who are before him, Russia, China, destroying the people of... there is some, you can call it terrorist attacks by the Uyghurs in China, in eastern Turkmenistan, driving cars and knifing and things like that. And in India, other places. Of course, there is terror against the Muslims, like in Iraq, like in Afghanistan, like in Myanmar, like France against the Algerian, what they did. France right now terrorizing our souls about Muhammad. This is not a way of treating the treatment of some maybe groups that, I'm sorry to say this, uh, I'm trying to be easygoing with those who are against me. Taking it so far in phones and things, this is not a positive treatment. This is to assault the final messenger. Yeah, people can recognize things like the veil, like not when it comes to this, uh, and false information about Bayon. What is the name of that false leader? You consider him a hero. He's not a hero. No, no, no. He's in hell and he's questioned. Who stopped the Muslims from coming from Spain to Europe before 15th century, I think. This is not a hero. False understanding to this topic make you create this dark. False understanding of what happened within the last 2 centuries. False understanding to what happened even at the time of Napoleon Bonaparte, and how did he look at the Holy Land and to this city, Jerusalem and Egypt and other places, and that it is used to be a Christian. Napoleon Bonaparte, and many times in Egypt, he used to say, this should be a Christian country. It shouldn't be. He's thinking that he's a Christian. Look what he did, a butcher. Uh, not a prince. He's not a prince. More a Nostradamus, did he say? I think this prophecy is about him. More than a butcher than a prince. Or a princess. I shouldn't laugh right now, but because he have a false understanding about Muhammad, and a false understanding, and you are as well. When he went to Egypt and he's thinking that it should be a medieval Christian uh, part of the world. He did not understand that the Roman used to occupy Egypt. He did not understand that the Copts and the Nubis have accepted Islam in a big, fast waves, the majority of them, to get rid of the occupation of the Roman and to get rid of the dirty cross. So, I understand. Among the European people, and I'm not lying, when it's come to our humanity, there is people who are very responsible, and people who have a sense, a sense that is cannot be, what is the word? Not explained. Wasf cannot be described easily. I need hours to explain how there is European and France people who have this sense of justice and equality there is among the white people, and this is a fact. This is a fact. It's not a joke. Among the white people, starting with the European and starting with I'm not talking about all. I'm talking about certain groups, and they did give humanity things here and here and there. And their sense of responsibility toward the human race is cannot be described. Something big, and their sense toward humanity and equality and respecting the other, and trying to adapt with other, and even some of them, this is another group, accepting multicultural society. This is another group, but I'm talking about justice. Their sense is 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 a breathtaking. This is the word. Big, huge. Sometimes you cannot find it in another continent, in other nations. I admit it. But at the same time, there is ignorance, and ignorance have the right to be in a percentage in each nation. There will be always a stupid percent in each community. There will be, and they have the right to be stupid. But the problem is that they shouldn't help in creating such reactions. Now, if you think that I'm just defending Islam because all Muslims are all about. No, you should be a Muslim first of all, even if you are moderate, open. We want secularism, except you're a Muslim. You believe in Allah, Muhammad, the final leader. I'm talking about. I'm not saying that they are all angels. No, Humans should be Muslims. I have problem with people who insist on calling themselves Muslims. But my explanation, because I was touched a little bit, because I know some people who are atheists here. I know some atheist people here, and I know some so-called Christian people, so-called, and others, black, white, what, and I don't want anything bad to happen to them. Yes, I am not living the life of a happy life, but literally, I want to see them from time to time happy. Some of them are considered facing problems. Some of them go to these centers, which helps. Some of them work as volunteers. Some of them, I know since I was in accommodation and they were neighbors, and I don't want to hear that people can have a heart attack, accident, coronavirus. But it will be terrible to know that they were killed in such way, walking the streets and someone attacking them by a knife because he's angry. And I understand from where this anger comes, but it is a must to say that the act itself is not an Islamic act. But I can understand it, though it's harmful. I can understand from where it comes from, and this do not legitimize it. The biggest criminal is those who create it, and I curse them and I ask their destruction. I'm going to the point. The point is, when I think I don't want anything bad to happen to those people, because there is a human connection. We're human at the end. The Mustafa he said what? He said something about the heart. I'm not talking about love and kissings and marriage and things. No, I'm talking about something about the spirits, التقاء الأرواح, that people sometimes find another, and the final messenger said it. So when I know that a woman is dead, and others, and definitely they are not Muslims, immediately I made a treatment to it, that I am also a person who faced a terrible situation. Of course, not stabbed and killed, but still, yani. And this give me the legitimacy and offer me the right to say I'm sorry and that's it, without giving any type of feeling for any. Why even explain to you? But the case is, I shouldn't explain this. I shouldn't explain that. The video is all about this point, but now I'm going deep into emotional things, which I can control perfectly. Now, Macron is not a. This is a figure, like Netanyahu, like Trump, a puppet. There is something rotten in France. That's it, and in Europe as well, and other dark groups in continental nations. And this bad thing, which Macron is causing for it problem to the wonderful French people, okay, who got nothing to do with the terror that was committed in the Muslim countries last centuries, or maybe until now. This rotten thing that he represents have something to do with fucking my life after 11 September, the inside job, okay? It have something to do with interfering to my style and culture, making my life a sick life, and a life of a freak, okay? And this took me to places I don't want to be in my mental status. And this rotten thing is dirty and bad. It do not represent all white people. No. All European. No. It is exactly like those racist black people. Those racist black people, I'm not going to go using VEDIO, do not represent the wonderful black people. Exactly. In China, there is good Chinese people who were executed by the Chinese government. And if they have a say, they would give independence to Eastern Turkmenistan, and they will divide China to, at the minimum, 6 states. India as well. So-called Hindu ladies and so-called Hindu men raped, tortured, persecuted. It is the same. They would also help the Muslim to divide so-called India to states. This rotten things is the thing that is provoking me to upload videos from time to time about this reaction. Terror got nothing to do with Islam. Absolutely got nothing to do with Islam. Terrorist attack got nothing to do with Islam. Terror got nothing to do with Islam. Now, terror have a lot of meanings. The police sometimes terrorize criminals, okay, to stop them. Stop, or I will shoot you. You're terrorizing him. Doof, doof. Electricity, you're torturing him. You have the bedic. And this is a case. But if you think, again, I'm not talking about this incident. If you think that all of those, again, I'm not talking about this incident. I don't know nothing about this incident. If you think that all terrorists are wrong when it comes to the human case, judicial system, high-ranked judicial system, I mean, the best judges in the whole world, when they are granted the absolute knowledge, and look at the terrorists in Iraq, the terrorists in some other places in Syria, if you think that all of those people are bad, you're wrong. They are heroes. Okay? And some leaders in Europe know that. And this is one. And two, if you are believing in God, if you think that these people are not accepted by God, think again. I'm not saying all. Some of them will be in paradise while you are in hellfire. Terror got nothing to do with Islam. Absolutely nothing from A to Z. Terror got nothing, absolutely, with Islam. Absolutely. Do you hear me, Donald Trump? Absolutely. Terror got nothing you need to know with Islam. Absolutely. You and your kind have something to do with it. Regards, my curse, and my hope that you would be destroyed. All dark creator in this world, either in this life or in the hereafter. I'm a very humble, beautiful person. Fuck off, leave me alone. Thank you, England.